Welcome to Proctor, Vermont. We have youth baseball action for you tonight as Rutland Town, the Chargers at the plate, taking on the Proctor Rangers. Shane Protovansky on the mound, and this is the second time these two teams have met already this year, and it was a close ball game down at Del Bianco Field in center Rutland. And I expect tonight to be no more different. Nice competitive game. That's going to be slicing foul, and it's going to stay in play, and it's going to be an extra base as Max Paquette, picking up the coach over at third base, will pull up with a stand-up double. It's a ball overthrown, bring it back to the infield, but it's handled by Slade over at third. So a leadoff double by Max Paquette. Didn't even give me a chance to set the roster for you, but obviously Paquette's in the leadoff spot. Then Kyle Casarino and Andy Kanash do up, as Kyle Miles is the catcher and Shane Protovansky the pitcher. That's the battery for Proctor, and that nice scoop by Miles on that ball that broke in dirt short of home base. Curtis Tomlinson getting a start over at first base tonight. Braden Fox is at second. Shortstops Nick Ojala and Jesse Slade's at third. That's the Rangers on the infield, and couldn't quite hold up on that. It'll be called a strike. The outfield, got a couple of different Gelberts out there. You have Zach Gelbert in left field, Chris Gelbert in right field, and Logan Landon in center field. And that'll be foul as it dribbles down that third baseline. So scheduled for 6 on a beautiful night from the town of Proctor. A perfect night for baseball. As the umpire waits, as Kyle Casarino getting set in the box. Obviously, you can see he's a right-handed batter. Gets a piece of it that's going to drop in. Yeah, just the right spot. And they're going to send the runner home. You can see Paquette taking the corner, and yeah, he crosses the plate, and Casarino will drive in the game's first run, and he'll be at second base. So didn't take Chargers too long to get things going offensively. Now Andy Kanash up, and he'll step in from the, well, he's due up, yeah, and I believe that is Andy. He'll step in from the left side. So the bats all set, and I'm looking at, there's only 1, 2, am I seeing that right? There's only 2 outfielders, okay. So that's why center field was so wide open. And there's a strike called. So I have 1 too many outfielders on my lineup. It's Chris Gelbert that I don't see out here. It's Zach Gelbert and Logan Landon as far as the outfielders go. Now, the other night against Pittsford, Proctor had to play with just 2 outfielders as one of their players became ill. And Casarino gets the start, goes down to third, and he's going to beat the throw. That good speed by Casarino will line him up on third base. So a runner down at third, nobody down. 1 run in already, top of the first. You're watching PEGTV Channel 15 Sports. More exact, you're watching Munger Vision, but you can go to PEGTV.com, click Video on Demand, and watch local sports anywhere, anytime, free of charge on the internet. Again, that pitch sailed a little bit high on Protovansky. And what a shift they have on for. I was trying to locate the shortstop. Ojala standing almost at second base, and again, that pitch called high for a ball. A good eye by Kanash up there at home plate, and that will bring the cleanup batter Jared Moore up. He'll be on deck for Rutland Town. And I think that will be over the fence now to play, and an error is going to be charged to the fan behind home base. Boy, he had a chance. I mean, he got it on tape too. He could have had a good catch there, but so that would go as a foul ball strike. So Kanash, the first lefty that Protovansky's had to face here. Oh, that's cranked. That's going back. Tomlinson will watch it, and it's out of here. Home run for Kanash as he will take it over the outfield fence and drive in 2 runs on a big shot out of the ballpark. And you can see Kanash will be greeted at home base, as is the tradition. And just the way that they broke on it in the outfield, you could tell they were watching like I was, waiting for it to see where it landed. So Kanash with a 2-run homer will make it 3-0 Rutland Town. And Jared Moore now coming up. And I believe he's going to be the catcher, as they didn't have the positions filled in when I got my lineup. But I saw Jared Moore during the warm-ups on the infield with the catcher's mitt on. Jacob Clark on deck. Rutland Town having a big inning so far here in the top of the first. Protovansky's been right around the strike zone. That's why they've been able to get these hits off him. Oh, that's got a chance to be back to back, and going to be in front of the fence. Picked up by Jalbert, and with a stand-up double will be Moore. He hit that to I think the deepest part of the field, actually. So that is 3 doubles and a home run. First 4 batters. They have looking like mid-season form here at the plate, swinging the bats. And Protovansky a little bit low with that pitch on the outside corner. Jacob Clark and then Lucas Heald on deck. About the most pure baseball you get to watch nowadays is right here at this age level. And that will be a chance for Miles to throw down to third, and going to get away. He'll be backed up in the outfield by Landon. The run coming in, and he will score. So Jared Moore, scrambling around those bases, will come in with the 4th run of the inning. And yeah, I went to both dugouts to get my batting orders, and when I was into the Proctor dugout, I don't know, they weren't too thrilled about being out here. They were talking about it was too hot and this and that, and they're playing a little out of focus right now. So Jacob Clark still at the plate. 4-0 Rutland Town, top of the 1st. There is the 10 batter rule at this age limit. Ojala with a tough hop will handle it, the throw, and there's the first out on that 6-3 ground out. But a nice job of sticking with the ball as it came off the seam of the infield, and again was almost over the head of Ojala. Now Lucas Heald up, bases clean, 1 down. See if that settles down the Proctor squad. Again, that pitch came right over the top, but was short hopped in the dirt. Now for an obviously a ball right there. And Protovansky, when you see him, he can basically play any position out there. He'll get the start in the pitcher's slot tonight. The big news for the Proctor squad getting here was one of their players, MJ Dennis, out for the season. Suffered, well, I don't know the exact nature, like a growth plate shifted, and he had to have some surgery, so he'll be gone for the year. But he was a pitcher and a big bat in the lineup and out there in the field, big glove. So in the pre-games, they're throwing a lot of different players trying to find another pitcher out there, and that'll be a strike called. So Protovansky, like I said, wildness has not been a problem. He's been too much around the plate. And that's going to drop right in there. And that's tough with only 2 outfielders. You see the good hustle by Braden Fox, and the throw coming in. And going to third base. Nope, he's going to stay there at second. And again, it's just tough with just 2 outfielders. But Avery Billings coming up now. And so Rutland Town with just the 1 out and a runner at second. Avery Billings doing a little housework out there, picking up the bat that was left in that batter's box area from the previous player, and that's a good scoop by Miles. As the pitch again short hopped on the outside corner, and that will be a ball from Protovansky. I've seen a lot of games where, oh, that's a good shot down to Fox. He'll throw to first, and there's the second out. The runner does move over to third base, though, on that ground out. Good piece of running right there by Heald, and I believe it's Wortman, Brandon Wortman coming up now. So Wortman with 2 down and a runner at third. And if you missed it, 4 runs already in for Rutland Town. One of them on a 2-run homer by Andy Kanash. And again, just a little bit off the corner for a ball. I tell you, the ball's sounding sweet off the bat tonight too, so it's being hit. It's carrying well. Now it's going to be to Ojala. It'll be over the glove. A great effort by Ojala, but that'll become an RBI, and Landon will pick the ball up and run it back into the infield. I tell you, that was a great effort by Ojala, but just about 3/4 of an inch too short. And now the number 9 batter, Zach Corsup. And I believe Tomlinson has a beat on it. Will make the catch falling down. Will show the umpire, and it's the third out. A good effort by Curtis Tomlinson, and it's time for Proctor to come up. They're down 5-0 at the end of a half inning of play on PEGTV. So it'll be Tomlinson leading things off here for Proctor in the bottom of the first. Got a little bit of homework to do. They're down by 5, and a pitch called a strike. Kanash is on the mound. Jared Moore is the catcher behind the plate, and I'll have to fill in my infield as the game goes along. Like I said, they didn't have they had the batting order, but they didn't have positions figured out yet to make sure everybody come to the ball game and showing up. So understandable. So it'll take me a while to kind of plug in everybody for the Rutland Town squad. And a good pitch there, and Tomlinson will go down on strikes to lead things off for Proctor. First strikeout of the ball game, obviously. Now Nick Ojula made that good attempt defensively out in the field from the shortstop position for Proctor. Going to be up there, and he will look at ball one. Kyle Casarino is a shortstop. I can see that out there. Avery Billings is at third base. Over at first is going to wait a second here, and that will be fouled off. Let me just locate number 11 on my roster for you. Jacob Clark's over at first base. Max Paquette is at second. And off the corner for a ball. Good eye right there by Ojula. Again, good size to the pitch. Boy, he did go up the ladder and get that, and that's going to be called for and caught in center field for the second out. As Rutland Town retiring the first two batters, and number 9 is Lucas Heald that will make the grab. And Shane Protovansky up now with 2 down and nobody on. Now that was a good job at this age group of that fly ball to center field. You could hear him call out that he had the ball. Good job of communicating that. Little things like that add up pretty quick, and again, just missing off the corners. Kanash got good size to him, and of course he pitched last year, so he's got experience, and he's retired the first two batters here for Proctor. And that right there is a good pitcher's pitch right at the knee. Protovansky will step out and take a glance down to the third base coach. And try to get the same spot, this time just a little bit low. And by the next inning, I'll have the whole defensive alignment figured out for you for Rutland Town. That pitch will miss in the dirt and will be chased down by Jared Moore, who's doing the catching tonight. So Protovansky, who's got a good eye for the strike zone. And I believe that'll make it a full count now. Now Protovansky, like I said, you'll see him play the catcher's position. Obviously he's pitching tonight also, shortstop. Pretty much here you need to plug him in on the field. He's that versatile and talented a player. And he'll take strike 3 looking, and a 1-2-3 inning for Rutland Town. He'll go to the second with that 5-0 lead. Max Paquette back up for the second time tonight as Rutland Town batted around the order in that 5-run first inning. And of course, the highlight was the 2-run homer by Kanash. And Paquette, his first time up, had a leadoff double and eventually scored a run. That's going to be up the middle and a base hit. And now you see Sean Blanchard lay the rider, but he's going to be plugged in the outfield now, and that will be good. I'll give him three outfielders to work with, which will help him a little bit. So a 2-for-2 night for Max Paquette. Now Kyle Casarino up. He had an RBI. He had a double, and he eventually scored also, and that's all taking place in just the first inning. So a 5-0 game. That'll be a good stop by Miles, the catcher, as he's able to keep the runner over at first base. Now Miles, we've seen a couple games already this year, able to really work down his throw down to second a lot. He's got a pretty strong and accurate throw if they want to send the runner here. And that's driven to the opposite field and foul. That's a good job of just going with the pitch right there. You don't see that at the high school level enough, let alone having somebody at this age group doing it. Protovansky went that low outside corner, and Casarino drove it that way, just foul down the first baseline. Casarino getting started at shortstop tonight. And got a feeling we might see him throw some pitches, and that'll be just outside. As Protovansky's been missing just outside quite a bit tonight, so He looks lined up with the catcher. In the air and going to be played by Blanchard, and he'll make the grab. And that'll become the first out of the second inning, top of the second to be exact. Now Andy Kanash up, and he took him out of the yard. I just want to show you where Gelbert's playing. You can't go any deeper than that. He's standing at the fence, got a big smile on his face. So Kanash, Protovansky, and the pitch. Tell you what, that was a pretty good rip right there. He had a pretty good beat. Pitcher's about shoulder high. Like I said, he's a good sized guy. He went right up their stairs and got him. I can almost shake hands with the outfielders, are so deep right now. One down, one on, and fouled back for strike two. So again, Slade getting the start at third defensively. Ojala's at short. Fox at second. Tomlinson over at first. Miles behind the dish. On the mound is Protovansky. Blanchard now the center fielder. Gelbert and Landon also outfielders. And that's 3 foul balls in a row, and the pitches have all been upstairs. And Paquette, don't forget, still down at first base, as he had a single to start off the second inning. And that's going to be a base hit. Good effort by Fox. Blanchard will knock it down, and runners will stay at first and second. So after several foul balls, Kanash able to get a single up the middle. Now Jared Moore up. He had a double, and he also scored a run. In the second, scheduled for 6. I don't think Mother Nature's going to be an issue tonight. On just a perfect night for baseball. And Protovansky with a long look in. Little high heat right there, and he couldn't catch up to it, and it'll be a swing, strike one. Moore at the plate, Clark on deck. Rutland Town off to a good start. Not only did they get the 5 runs in the first, but then defensively they had a 1-2-3 inning. And he's looking safe at second, as Fox just had an awful time getting the ball out of the glove. It was almost like it was glued in there, but the time he flipped it over, the runner's safe at second. So bases juiced now. Paquette ends up at third, Kanash at second, and Moore on the fielder's choice at first. Clark up. Jacob Clark grounded out to Ojala at shortstop back in the first inning. The instructions from the Proctor dugout, they want to cut the run down at the plate if the ball's hit on the infield. They have Slade even with the grass at third, and Ojala deep at the hole at short. I thought they might just bring the infield in a little bit to make that throw home a little better, but Protovansky would love to get his first strikeout of the night right here. And they're going to say he went, and that'll be called a strike. Just couldn't hold up on that ball. Had a hard cut on it. It's Jacob Clark now stepping up there. I believe he's got 2 strikes on him in the count. I'll tell you what, he couldn't have asked for a better spot to throw it, as Protovansky will on a drop strike 3, but he had a runner at first, and it'll be 2 down now. Lucas healed up. He had a double himself back in the first and scored a run. All 5 of the Rutland Town runs to this point coming back in the first inning, but they have the bases loaded and 2 down. And Miles with a casual but effective backhand on that short hop by the pitcher Protovansky. And again, the outfield stayed deep after they backed up for Kanash, and again just off the corner. Nowhere to put him if he issues the walk. And Rutland Town to number 6 batter here in this inning. And again, chasing that high pitch, maybe out of the strike zone right there, but took the cut at it. Yeah, if Lucas Hill can extend the inning, then there'll be Avery Billings on deck for the Chargers. And that's going to be a slow hit ball to Protovansky to first, and it'll end up going out of play as 2 runs will come in, and they're going to they're going to hold him up at third. You can see him tossing it around, and it's a hot potato right now, and they'll pick it up, and Just going to be a tough play all the way around on that slow hit ball. As Healed, I'm looking for, he ended up at second base. So that means Paquette came in, Kanash came in, and that is Moore over at third base. So 7-0 now. And Miles able to chase the ball down, no damage done. The runners will stay at second and third. Avery Billings grounded out to second base, which was Braden Fox. That's been his only time up so far this evening. That's a hard shot toward Fox. He'll flip to first, and that's the inning, but 2 more runs for Rutland Town. They'll have that 7-0 lead going into the bottom of the second. Kyle Miles will take the first pitch at the bottom of the second on the outside corner, and it'll be called a ball. As it's Miles, Jesse Slade, and Logan Landon due up. As you see a nice pitch again from Kanash, as he had a couple strikeouts in the first inning. As we look at a 7-0 score going into the bottom of the second, scheduled for 6. There's the 10-batter rule, and Kanash will field his position well, flip to first, and get the out. Retired leadoff batter here in the bottom of the second. So Miles made contact, and Kanash able to leap up and get the ball. And now Slade up. Slade, the third baseman for the Proctor squad, and Slade with decent power up there. He's a good line drive hitter, as Kanash is retired. The first 4 Proctor Rangers he has faced. That was a good rip at. That was power against power right there. Nice fastball from Kanash, and Slade had a good rip at the ball. Fouled it back, strike 1. And I've got the defense set now. It is Avery Billings over at third base for Rutland Town. Kyle Casarino's the shortstop. Max Paquette's at second, and Jacob Clark is at first defensively. Strike 2 on the swing and a miss. The catcher, I should mention also, is Jared Moore. The outfield's got Zach Corse in left field. Lucas Heald's in center, and Wortman is in right field. And boy, 2 strikes. That's a good job following that pitch off. Stay alive. Actually, that's a beautiful swing right there by Slade. This is a good matchup to watch right here. As Kanash finding his target, we'll go into the motion, and with 1 out, pitch coming in, and Slade will hold up on that high pitch, and it'll be a 1-2 count. As Jared Moore asking for time, he wants to have a little chat with his pitcher. It was brief, so whatever it is, he worked it out real quick, and Moore will go back down and get set up behind home plate. As Proctor looking for their first base runner tonight, and boy, just great location on that pitch. That'll be first strikeout of the second inning, 3rd of the ball game, and now Logan Landon, the center fielder, up. As Kanash, working quick between pitches, will try to stretch the strike zone right there. That'll be too far outside. Called a ball as Landon stepping back in after a long look down to the third base coach. Just couldn't catch up. But I tell you, he's hit that outside corner consistently. This time he brought the ball in on the hands and really hitting the spots early in the ball game is Kanash. A little change of speed right there, and had Landon ahead of it, and quickly a 1-2 count. Like I said, already 3 strikeouts in 1 2/3 inning, looking for his 6th straight batter retired. And the pitch coming in will be popped up, looks to be playable. Kanash will make the grab, and that's the inning. Another 1-2-3 inning defensively for Rutland Town. They've got that 7-0 lead over Proctor. And that's going to be down to the pitcher, Protovansky, and you can see the call safe over there at first as blinding speed down the line. And he'll be, that's Wortman, he'll be on with the infield single. And now Zach Corse up. As we go to the 3rd inning, 7-0 to score, Rutland Town. Chargers with the lead. And this could be at least the one. Yeah, they're going to the first base, and but I tell you, a quick play and nice grab over there by Tomlinson, and he'll get the out. As Wortman will move over to second base. Top of the order now, Max Paquette. He's got a 2 for 2 night going. He's got a double and a single. And he's made solid contact both times. Getting Miles behind the plate with a good scoop there, as Paquette's also scored 2 runs tonight. Protovansky hasn't had a lot of problems with walks and balls. He's just been around the plate so much, and Rutland Town, obviously a good hitting team, able to make good contact. They've had 3 doubles tonight and a 2-run homer. And that's going to be twisting foul down the first baseline. They'll throw Protovansky out a new baseball. I know we've got the Proctor All-Star tournament coming up in mid-July. And that's always a classic. That's going to be to the backstop, and that'll allow the runner, Wortman, to go down to third base to throw there just a tad late. Slade with the good stop. But on the wild pitch, Wortman will go to third. Now, I did have the exact date for that All-Star tournament, but I don't remember it, and I can't call the president of the league, Bob Protovansky, up because he's lost his cell phone somewhere around the baseball field. He was mowing the lawn this morning, he said, and he's been walking around looking for his phone. The good thing is he kept his keys to the concession stands because I smell the burgers cooking over there. And he went outside and just did get a piece of it. That's tough swinging right there with 2 strikes, but he'll stay alive as Paquette and then Casarino on deck. Rutland Town with a 5-run first inning kind of set the tone for momentum after that first inning, as they've had just good pitching and good defense, and that's going to be fouled out of play and into the crowd. You can see a good crowd on hand tonight for this youth baseball game. Again, I always tell you, you should get to these games live, but then go home and watch it on Channel 15 or go to the PEGTV.com website, click video on demand, and catch it right on the internet. Protovansky. That's going to stay in play, and that's going to be a ball in the gap. He picked up out there by Gelbert, and he'll get into Fox, and good piece of hitting will score the 8th run for Rutland Town. That's an RBI single for Paquette. And with counting the 2 runs he scored, now the one he's driven in, got a big night offensively going. Now Kyle Casarino, the shortstop, up. He's 1 for 2 tonight. He has doubled, and he's flied out to center field. He has also scored a run for Rutland Town. And he'll look at strike 1 from Protovansky. Again, it's Slade over at third base. Ojulev's playing second. No, let's do that again. Slade's at third. Ojulev's at short. Fox is at second. Tomlinson at first. And that will be off from the glove, and on the wild pitch, you can see that Paquette going down, standing up on the advancement on the bases. Andy Kanash on deck for Rutland Town. You see the sun's out. Like I said, it's a beautiful summer night. And again, that pitch will get away from Miles, and Paquette will motor on down to third base. So that single is turned into a triple here for Rutland Town. And the outfield's got Blanchard in center field, Gelbert in right, and Landon in left. And that's got a chance, and it'll drop in just over the glove of Fox, who gave it a good effort, but Paquette will come in and score the 2nd run of the inning, the 9th of the ball game. And Casarino picking up his 2nd RBI tonight on that single. He's got 2 base hits, a couple RBIs, and now Andy Kanash up. He's got 2 RBIs also. As they put that massive shift on for him, they put the outfielders about 10 feet from the outfield fence, as he's had a 2-run homer tonight. And going to have another base hit as they'll go all the way to the fence as they wave Casarino around. Yeah, they give him the green light around third, and we'll follow Kyle Casarino home. And to third base will be Kanash, and he'll go in standing up as Slade will put the glove on him, but it'll be too late. And a big night for Kanash, as he's got a home run, a single, and now a triple, and Jared Moore up. Again, Protovansky's sticking with it, and that's going to be off the glove of Ojula, and Fox will hold the ball. And tell you what, I don't know if you could hear that on the microphone. That was a solid shot up the middle, as Kanash will score. Moore with an RBI. Actually, Moore's been on base all 3 times tonight. He's got a double, a single, and reached on a fielder's choice, scored a run, and has an RBI. Jacob Clark up as you can see the action taking place right in front of me here as they send the runner down to second base. Moore will go down to second. I gotta check my book because I don't remember an out being recorded here so far. And nice scoop by Miles. Yes, there's the one out. 1, 2, 3, 4 runs in, making it 11-0. Rutland Town over Proctor. And that's going to drop in, and that's going to roll to the fence, and that will allow another run to come in. Standing up, and I'll pick the runner up from second to third, and that ball will roll by and be backed up by Protovansky, and that will keep the runner at third base. So Moore will come in to score. Clark ends up at third base. Unofficially, I'm going to give him a single and then that two-base error. It's Lucas Heald at the plate, the center fielder. And that could be trouble. Yeah, that was just a tough play backpedaling. They're going to send the runner home. Blanchard will pick the ball up, and Protovansky throws to first, and safe is the call as he's able to take a hook slide and get around the tag. And Clark did score, so Heald went up at first base with that RBI. Now Avery Billings up, and he is the 9th batter to come to the plate here in the 3rd inning. So for the 2nd time tonight, Rutland Town will bat around in the order. And there is the 10-batter rule, so the on-deck batter will be the final batter coming to the plate this inning. I'm just checking to make sure my book's right. Yeah, it should be Wortman. 9, 10, yep, coming up next. Strike call. No, everything Rutland Town, they're either hitting it with power or they're just finding little gaps in the outfield to drop in, but they are making contact with the ball. And Shane Protovansky got a little help there as he went up out of the strike zone on the swing. Got 5 runs first, and now 2, 4, 6 runs this inning. And I have unofficially at 13-0, and that's fouled off, staying alive on that, just that nick of the ball. 13, yeah, so it's 13 zip in the 3rd. Rutland Town with the lead. And again, you can see Miles doing a nice job of keeping the runner at first on that backhand scoop with a pitch out of the strike zone. And that looks to be out of play. Yeah, see Tomlinson trying to climb the fence, but it'll be just a foul ball strike, and Billings will get back up there. And he is set now, and Protovansky into the windup, and got strike 3 called. Nice pitch by Protovansky. That is the 2nd out of the 3rd inning. And Wortman up now. He's got 2 singles. He's got a 2 for 2 night going. And that's going to be caught by Protovansky. And we'll go to the bottom of the 3rd. And Proctor got a little catching up to do as they're down by 13. I think bottom of the 3rd, Zach Gelbert up. I'll have to check. I think that's Zach. Got a couple Gelberts on the lineup. And you think I'd know him by now. And that's Zach Gelbert. For the first time tonight, it's Kanash. He's got 3 strikeouts and has retired the first 6 Rangers he has faced tonight. And boy, nasty movement on that pitch down and away, and had Gelbert out in front of it on the swing. And I'm scanning that defense, and it looks like no changes out there yet for Rutland Town. And that'll become the 4th strikeout of the ball game to start out the 3rd inning. Gelbert went down swinging. Now Braden Fox up. And again, that's just great movement on the ball away from the left-handed batter down and away. So we've got Jacob Clark playing first. Max Paquette's at second. Casarino's at short. And Billings is at third. And I do believe that's still Jared Moore doing the catching. The outfield's got Course, Heald, and Wortman. Yep, that's what I'm looking at for numbers. And that will be back-to-back strikeouts here in the 3rd. And this should be Sean Blanchard now, and it is. So Blanchard will bat in the number 9 spot as Proctor making his way through this order here for the first time tonight in the bottom of the 3rd. Kanash looking to go 9 for the first 9, and that pitch, one of the rare ones out of the strike zone. And Blanchard with that quick glance down to third base, stepping back in the box. And boy, Kanash is rearing back and firing just a high fastball right there. He's got 4 strikeouts and not quite 3 full innings of work. He's also been involved in a couple ground outs as he's helped pretty much touch the ball on every play. That pitch a little high and inside, bent Blanchard back, and the outfield pretty much straight away right now. And that would be called a strike, just a tad bit above the belt. And so Kanash looking to strike out the side here in the third. We'll look in, and good stab by Kanash. Oh, Kanash by gosh will make the grab, and we'll stay 13-0. Rutland Town with the lead. So we're waiting for the start of the 4th inning. It's just a good time to go back through and recap some of the scoring that's taken place, as a 5-run first by the Rutland Town Chargers, 2 runs in the second, and then 6 in the third, where they sent 10 batters to the plate, and they're going to be looking at Zach Corse, unless they've got a pinch hitter. But I have listed Zach Corse leading off here the 4th inning. And that's going to be Slade at third, sliding over, making the throw, and getting the out. That's a good job by Jesse Slade. Again, you can see the movement, the way he slid over to the hole in shortstop, made the grab, and retire. That's the first time tonight that Proctor's retired to lead-off batter. I don't say it tongue-in-cheek or critical, it's just fact. It's the first time they retired the lead-off batter. Now Paquette up, and he went after that one up around the eyeballs and will foul it off. And a big night for the leadoff batter. He's gotten on base 3 times, scored 3 runs. He's got an RBI, and again, that's what you want from the top of the order, and he's been making good contact. So Protovansky looking for a little easier ride here, and that's a shot up the middle. Again, Rutland Town's been just hitting the ball so effectively tonight. Square on, you can hear the ting of the bat, and head down, following through. And so Paquette, for the 4th time tonight, in 4 innings, back on base. It's Kyle Casarino now, the shortstop for Rutland Town. Well, that's going to be a tough play to make. Casarino with the good speed, they'll make the throw, and he'll be safe at first, and Paquette dancing, literally dancing around at second base. So first and second situation with the 1 out. Now that was just, with Casarino's speed and the way the ball was slowly rolling out, that was just going to be almost an impossible play to make. Now Kanash coming up with 2 on. A 3-for-3 night, as he's also gotten 3 RBIs. His first at bat, he hit a towering home run out of the ballpark. And that's through the hole at first, and that's going to score a run. As you can see, Paquette galloping in on home base, and Casarino coming up next, and he will be safe. So 2 runs in for Kanash. That will make his RBI total tonight 5. And I'll double check that, but yeah, 5 RBIs driven in tonight by Kanash. We'll make it 15-0 Rutland Town, and Jared Moore up. Again, he's made contact all 3 times with a double and a single, and he's also reached on a fielder's choice. There'll be nights like this. I mean, it happens. I mean, both ways, where Rutland Town just hitting the ball, everybody hitting the ball so well. And for Proctor, the outs are just so hard to come by tonight. Oh, what a play down, knocked down by Tomlinson at first, and I'm going to give him a base hit on that, as that was just stung down the first baseline. And runners at the corners. Kanash went to third on a play, and Moore Kanash went to third, Moore at first. Now Clark up. Clark 1 for 3 tonight, and Miles, and yeah, I'm looking to see, they're going to have a meeting on the mound, and see if that will be it for Mr. Protovansky tonight. I don't believe so. They haven't made the move or taken the ball from him, so. Tough spot anyways. Proctor with a game tonight, as you're watching, obviously, and then a game at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning, so they're short on pitchers already with the injury to MJ Dennis. He's gone for the season. So they need some innings out of Shane Protovansky tonight. Pulled the string on that one and got the strike called as Clark grounded out to the shortstop, who was Ojala, and still is Ojala at the time, so he grounded out 6-3, struck out in the second, and then had a single and scored a run in the third. And that's just fouled off as the runners will hold at first and third. We're in the fourth, and I didn't think it'd come into play tonight, but I never did ask the president, Bob Protovansky, the mercy rule. I can't call him because he's lost his phone. So I'll have to tap into some of the knowledge around me because I know it's 15-0 right now as we'll be heading to the bottom of the fourth. I'm sure they've got to go at least 5 innings. 4.5. 4.5, okay. Strike called, ball dropped, and the runner moved down to second base. So runners will be at second and third now with 2 down. And Lucas Heald up. And everybody, when I go through that lineup, a double and a single for Heald as I'm looking for, and I think everybody's gotten a hit in the lineup tonight for Rutland Town, and that's going to be fouled down the first baseline, and Protovansky with the ball head back to the mound as... Is it 15 runs though for the mercy rule? 10? Oh, 10, okay. And out of play over the fence, and it will be just a foul ball strike. So 2 strikes now on Lucas Heald. Protovansky with with 3 strikeouts actually tonight in the ball game. As they're holding up the action right now, as they're allowing the runner down at second to get his his cleats tied up, and that's Moore down there getting his cleats tied up. Oh, and that's driven to the outfield, and it's going to be over the head, and 2 more runs coming in, and at least a double, and that's where he'll hold up. A good piece of hitting by Heald, and he'll get 2 RBIs on that double as he brings in Kanash and Moore. That makes it 17-0 now, Rutland Town, and Avery Billings up. Actually, not picking on Avery, just look, he's the only Rutland Town player that hasn't gotten a hit tonight, as he's 0 for 3. Big swing and a miss. He liked that one, just didn't catch up to it. So Billings up there with a runner down at second, but 2 down. And I believe, yeah, they're going to let Heald go down to third now. Yeah, and he'll stay up on the play as there's no throw coming down. And Wortman on deck. Oh, it is? Okay. Drinwater, so that's Clay Drinwater. So there's a pinch hitter that I miss. But I'm like NASCAR, I got a lot of spotters with me tonight, so. Ojala with the big bounce, will throw to first, and just did get him. But we'll go to the bottom of the fourth, 17-zip, Rutland Town cruising tonight with the lead. So in the bottom of the fourth, we got some defensive changes for Rutland Town as Evan Biederman's gone into play to left field. Clay Drinwater's at second, and Matt Sheridan is the right fielder. And this should be Curtis Tomlinson, top of the order. And it is. So Tomlinson stepping in there. And again, remember that defensive play that Kanash played last inning, or as he made it last inning, that line drive up the middle, he's able to grab it. He's retired all 9 Proctor Rangers that he's faced tonight. As we're in the bottom of the fourth, it's going to be Tomlinson, Ojala, and Protovansky due up. I'm just trying to think back some of the more dominant performances I've seen at this age level, and I remember Zach Kavakis over at, I want to call it Whiting, Vermont, but retired all 18 batters on strikeouts he faced that night. Yeah, you can't get much better than that. And he was a Proctor Ranger, so. But there's always, and if you like baseball, you don't have to, you know, you can watch Red Sox and Yankees, but there's just great baseball when you come out and watch this age level, or Legion ball, or JV ball. But this is good stuff here tonight. This is your future high school stars today on Munger Vision. And Tomlinson very patient at the plate. Got a 2-ball, 1-strike count, and Kanash. And you can see the umpire saying it was high. I'm sorry, it must have been a 3-1 count, and that will become the first base runner of the evening for Proctor. Now Nick Ojala up. Ojala flied out to heel in center field. That was his only time up. So let's see what happens now as Proctor getting their second look through this order at Kanash. But again, Kanash has just really been in control all night. Been around the plate. He's had good velocity. He's hit his spots. Fouled off. So Ojala able to get a piece of it. On deck, like I said, Protovansky. So Proctor needing to do a little chipping away here as we're down by 17. And a lot more. I don't believe that was a foul ball. That's why the runner able to advance up. I never heard it, and the umpire never indicated it, but he'll go as a strikeout, kind of handcuff the catcher, and the runner does go down to second. It's the 6th strikeout of the night. Now Protovansky up. Again, you can hear the glove pop behind the plate, but that obviously a ball, as was high and outside. But yeah, a lot more youth baseball action coming up. And I plan on getting over to Del Bianco Field and doing some of those games, and back out to Pittsford and Randy Adams and that group out there, and of course Proctor Rangers. I wouldn't even mind taking a trip over to Killington. I could actually bring my kayak and paddle across the pond and get there. Protovansky, this will be the pitcher picking the ball up. He'll make the tag. And did he make the tag? They'll call him out. Okay. The only reason I asked was the pitcher himself looked like he wasn't sure he made the tag. So 2 down, and Tomlinson at third base becomes the first Ranger to reach third base tonight. And Kyle Miles up. He grounded out to the pitcher Kanash back in the second. And Legion Baseball, speaking of post 31, will be starting their season off on June 15th. Oh, what a high chopper, and Casarino to first. That's the inning. We'll go to the 5th. 17-0 Rutland Town with the lead over Proctor. Shane Protovansky goes to work here in the 5th. That'll be a ball. And I'm looking for the jersey number because that is not Wortman. So that's Biederman, okay. So close enough. So Evan Biederman up for the first time tonight as he'll make contact and foul it off. No, I've got Mr. Carter up here, Mr. Casarino. I've got all kinds of good help tonight. This is the way every game should be. I've gotten all the numbers and names fed to me. This is I could get spoiled doing this. So July 10th and 11th is the All-Star Tournament in July, that is. Right here is a great event to come to. I love covering it. I'll tell you just a little secret though. July 10th and 11th on these fields, bring some sunscreen and bring a lot of fluids because it gets hot out here. At least at my age it seems it, but.
No, don't bring fluids because we sell them.
All right, don't bring fluids. They'll take care of you here with that, but bring sunscreen. When I got done the tournament last year, I couldn't move for a week. I so fried. And strike 3 called, and Protovansky will get the first out on a strikeout here in the 5th. Now I got to wait because I got a lot of new players are plugging in, so that's going to be Sheridan up now. So Matt Sheridan swinging the bat, and he'll look at strike 1 from Protovansky. And then the only defensive change was Reed Farley has gone in to play right field for Proctor, and as far as I can see, he's the only sub they have available tonight. And out of play, yep, over the backstop and out of play. So 2 strikes now on Sheridan. And I do believe Max Paquette, if they stick to the order, he will be on deck next, top of the order. Now last year in that All-Star Tournament, I saw some tremendous talent. The group from Polteny, or Slate Valley they call them, so they ended up winning the whole thing. But just trying to get a young man's name that threw the ball so well. Davenport for Pulteney or for Slate Valley. I mean, just the control and the velocity. You can tell that you're going to be seeing him at the high school level very shortly. Well, in a couple of years, but as that will be just off the corner outside by Protovansky. Oh, okay. And that will be in the dirt. And Miles will go back to pick it up. And I was corrected. It was Sheridan that was throwing the ball so effectively last year. And I thought I saw the coach inching out here. He's made one visit earlier in the ball game and kept Protovansky in. And I don't know. Usually when they're going to yank somebody, their body language is different. I don't get the feeling they're going to take Shane out right here. So they'll have a little meeting with getting the score 17 zip in the 5th. 1 down. And nobody on base right now. So yeah, they'll stick with Protovansky here. You see Protovansky looking in and trying to hit that outside corner, just came up a little bit short. And other than the change with Reed Farley, everything stayed the same. Slade at third, Ojala at short, Fox at second, and Tomlinson at first. And Ojala, oh, what a good catch. He made an adjustment, his glove going overhand at first and brought it around for the basket catch, and he will cover a lot of territory right there, track the ball well, and get the out. And this should be Paquette, and it is, number 6, Max Paquette up. And what a resume he's put together tonight. He has scored 4 runs, driven in a run. He doubled in the first, singled in the second, singled in the third, and singled in the 4th, and that will be foul. So right now, Proctor just trying to find a way to get Paquette out for the first time tonight. And that would mean that Casarino is on deck, as there are 2 down now as Proctor looking for their first 1-2-3 inning of the evening. Boy, I tell you, he was getting a little off balance on the swing, but it was level enough as that was one of those straight back foul balls. And the first inning really set the tone as Proctor just seemed flat and stayed flat throughout the evening. And they will finally get Paquette out on the strikeout, but we'll go into the bottom of the 5th, and Proctor needing at least 9 runs to keep the game going. 17-0, Rutland Town with the lead. Pitcher out there is Kyle Casarino, takes his last warm-up before he'll get started, and he's going to face Jesse Slade, Logan Landon, and Zach Gelbert. That's the 3 due up for Proctor in the bottom of the 5th, and the way the Mercy rule reads to me is they're down by the mandatory 10, and this is their 5th time to the plate. And that's a great looking pitch. And it's a nice shot from center field. You can see the movement on the ball on the way into the batters. Casarino with a full windup and a little bit too high, the umpire says. Good pop on the ball. Slade's only been up the 1 time tonight. He struck out in the second, but again, there's only been the 1 base runner for Proctor throughout the first 5 innings. Well, first 4 innings, actually. But again, just cut action on, I don't know if he's throwing a 2-finger or 4-finger, but it just moved down and away from the right-handed batting Slade. And he got him upstairs out of the strike zone, and well, he dropped the ball, but they're just going to toss it back out to Casarino. So first out of the 5th, Slate will go down on strikes. Now Landon up, he popped up to the pitcher, who at the time was Kanash. And Casarino with good velocity, just a tad bit high. Kanash went the first 4 innings, struck out 2 in the first. And I'm just looking, yeah, strike out at least 1 strikeout every inning, and I'll tally him up here for you in a second. And again, we'll bust inside to Landon a little bit too much. 2, 3, 4, 5. Had 6 strikeouts in 4 innings, Andy Kanash did. And from the offensive side, he had a 2-run homer and a bunch of singles in there. So a dominating night, to say the least, for Andy Kanash. And so Landon got his own cheering section out there behind home base. The good news for him, it's a female cheering section, so at that age, that's a cool thing. Castrino will kick fire, and there's a strike right down the pipe. Of course, just watch the mechanics on Castrino. I remember how young an age group you're watching, but watch him go through his mechanics here. They're beautiful. Down to first, and I'm waiting for the call. It'll be a foul ball. And there's the president, Bob Protovansky, with the play down the first baseline. Yeah, I think he's looking for his cell phone over there still. Got him looking, strike three. Back-to-back strikeouts for Castrino. Now Zach Gelbert up. He's 0 for 1 tonight. And actually, it'll be Reed Farley batting for Gelbert. So Farley up for the first time tonight. And Rutland Town just the 1 out away, and the heater by Farley for a strike. You can see Castrino with that nice patience between pitches. Looking to strike out the side to end the ball game. Rutland Town pitching tonight's combined for 8 strikeouts. And a very dominant performance both at the plate and in the field by Rutland Town. And he'll get him. So Castrino comes in to work the fifth, strikes the side out, 17-0, and I'm just looking to see as Miles is coming out with his catcher's gear on, so will we go to the 6th? It looks it as they toss the ball out, and it looks like we're going to go. I'll follow the president across the field. Yeah. Yep, we're going to play 6th inning, so we'll go to the top of the 6th, 17-zip, Rutland Town. Yes, a lot of changes defensively to talk about. And there's the big one right there. You see Braden Fox into pitch this inning. We're in the 6th. And Kyle Castrino, after that stellar performance, pitching in the bottom of the 5th. He's going to lead things off here in the top of the 6th for Rutland Town. Now, obviously, you can see Fox is a left-hander, and that pitch a little bit outside. Tough part of the order to come in and pitch. He's got Castrino, Kanash, and Moore due up. We'll see if that holds true to form here, because they have plugged in a lot of subs. And that breaking ball went around the outside corner and missed it, be a 2-0 count. Ojala has gone to center field defensively. Protovansky's moved over to short. Blanchard's gone to second. Slade stayed at third. Landon stayed at left. That'll be ball 3. Tomlinson stays at first, and Farley is the right fielder, and that's, I'm assuming, is Miles behind the plate still. And again, I don't say this tongue-in-cheek. Protovansky pitched well tonight because, like I said, the walks didn't hurt him. He didn't throw a lot of walks, but it's just a matter of being around the plate to good hitters who hit the ball very well. Now Kanash up, and again, what a big night he has had. Highlighted by that 2-run homer back in the first. So Fox, who missed to the inside or the outside to the right-handed batter, should be thrown right into Kanash now. And that's going to be knocked down by Tomlinson, and it'll be a base hit. Good reaction by Tomlinson, able to knock it down, but Castrino will be safe at second, and Kanash will be safe at first. Now, I have in my book Jared Moore, and that is who is up. So a long night for Proctor. They've got nobody out, 2 on, and that's going to be a little bit outside for a ball. And the runners did not move up on the throw. Now you might say, why would they at 17-0? Well, you still have to execute and play. And I mean, if you're going to go back out and play the 6th inning, you might as well actually play the game. Oh, that's driven deep and out of here for a home run, a 3-run homer to center field. And it was all, just a minute, hit his bat. You can hear that beautiful sound when you make good contact with the ball in the sweet spot. And that'll be the 2nd home run of the night for Rutland Town. You can see, as is customary, everybody out to greet him at home base as Jared Moore with a 3-run homer. I'll tell you what, that was a shot to center field. I don't have the yard marker or the footage in front of me, but that was a pretty healthy poke, and that will clear the bases. Nobody on for Jacob Clark. And that'll make it now a 20-0 lead for Rutland Town. Like I said, the first meeting between these two teams, it was a close ball game. They can now be a little bit outside for a ball. So if the order holds true, it's Clark's at the plate. It should be Healed up next, followed by Drinwater. And that will float on Fox a little bit, and he'll miss for a ball. Of course, Braden Fox had seen this winter play basketball for Jake Eaton's Proctor basketball squad. Did a good job, real good job. And he's working on the pitching thing. It's not as easy as it looks, but he's sticking with it. And so Fox set, fires, and will issue the walk as that one just missed on the outside. So Lucas Healed, I'm just checking, and there is at the plate number 9. So Healed is coming up, and Rutland Town, I couldn't even begin to add up the amount of hits they've had tonight. They're in double digits and legitimate base hits. And that'll be a wild pitch, and the runner will stay at first. And I'm just thinking, I'm flipping the book around for the Proctor squad. They're going to come up with Fox, Blanchard, and Tomlinson in the bottom of the 6th. And he might have gone. I'm waiting to see if the umpire... No, he said he held up on it. So Healed will hold up on that high pitch, get the ball called, and Fox, wasting no time between pitches, will just miss outside again. And Fox doing a lot of looking to the dugout for support there, and they have him shift over on the rubber a little bit, and that will miss for ball 4. So that'll put runners at first and second now. And it should be Drinwater coming up. Yes, it is. I heard somebody say Clay. So Clay Drinwater at the plate for the second time tonight. And had a high breaking ball, looked like, and it fooled him on the pitch for a swinging strike. Again, Fox, when he misses, is just missing to that outside corner of the right-handed batters. And that will be outside. And the runner is going to stay at first and second. Yes, we've seen a couple of balls leave the park tonight for Rutland Town, which is always, I find it exciting at the age level to see somebody hit a home run. I mean, I never did, but, and that will be just a little bit outside. So Fox sticking with it. And again, just missing. That'll be a walk, and the bases will be loaded now for Rutland Town. And Biederman up. And they're going to have a meeting on the mound with the Proctor coach, and going to talk it over with his catcher and his pitcher. And he doesn't have the body language like he's going to take the ball away from him. So it's more, yeah, he's going over the mechanics, the release point where he wants him to step. I think they're going to overcompensate, have him step toward the third base side a little bit more, try and bring that pitch in from the outside corner. But Fox, a competitor, he's going to keep working out there on the mound. And it is going to be Biederman up at the plate. Now, Biederman went in defensively and played left field last inning. Going to get a chance to swing the bat here. Again, so with the bases loaded, there's a force out at any base. I would think at this point you just need outs because you got nobody out and the base is loaded, and especially you don't know where the ball's going to be hit at this point. You just need outs to get out of the inning. So in a 20-0 game, the pitch on the way. I'll tell you what's happening is Fox is, they put a target for his lead foot toward the third base side, and he's hitting it, but his hips are staying open, and so that's why he's throwing so far to the my left, his right. His gate's wide open when he lets the ball go, so he's not following through, bringing the ball back in over the plate. And that will walk in a run on ball 4. Leaves the bases loaded. And Sheridan due up now. He's going to be the 8th batter to come to the plate. And don't forget, there is the 10 batter rule. And boy, again, I mean, he's nibbling, just nibbling on that corner. As Sheridan stepping out, taking a couple extra big swings before he gets ready to face Fox. And you forget the toughest spot tonight is the catcher back there. These are long innings. Well, not so much the heat right now in this later inning, but in middle innings it was warm, and Miles has been in full gear behind that plate for a lot of long innings. There's a strike from Fox. Well, I don't believe he's probably pitched that long, but you can tell he's got the talent to work at it and become good at it. And again, just off the plate for a ball. So Sheridan, I believe, is up in the count. And that will become a walk. So it was a 3-1 count, and that'll be a walk. And again, bases will still be loaded as Paquette coming up. Boy, he's been up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times tonight. He's 4 for 5. And when you can get that kind of production from the top man in the order, that one's going to bounce to the backstop, and the runners will hold as you see Fox hustle in to cover the bag, but nobody coming. And so if Paquette doesn't hit into a triple play, Casarino will be the 10th batter, which would be the inning after Casarino comes to the plate. And the reason I mentioned triple plays because these two teams, when they played at Del Bianco Field, there was a triple play in the ball game. I wasn't there to tape it. I would love to have been there. I've never videotaped a triple play. Oh, and you can see Paquette holding up. He almost took a swing at that high pitch. And like I mentioned, that MJ Dennis was one of the players for Proctor, but he will be gone for the season. He was one of the players that was a pitcher for Proctor. So they're in finding more pitchers mode right now as they're searching for arms out there. And then to compound that, they've got back-to-back games. This game, obviously, tonight I'm taping, and then tomorrow morning they have a 9 o'clock game. So, and that's going to be back to Fox. He'll throw home. There's the force out. Nice play by Fox. And I'm just going to find out was Drinwater, who's out, and now the 10th batter, Kyle Casarino. As I have it 22-0, so regardless of what happens here, this will be the final batter for Rutland Town, and lunging at the pitch will be Casarino, following it back, and lost a little bit of patience right there at the plate. He'll gather it back in. You can see Miles, the catcher, sliding over. He wants that inside corner. And I'll go off from Miles' shin guard, and again, the runners are going to hold. And the ball recovered by Miles. He'll bring it back out to Braden Fox. Fox on in relief for Protovansky. He went the first 5 innings. And Casarino got quite a round of applause from his dugout. He'll settle back in now. Well, I know, Kyle knows the strike zone. I think, I'm only conjecturing. I don't really know what he's thinking. My philosophy would be if I'm the 10th batter that I don't want to walk because that's the inning. So and the pitcher's been a little wild, so might as well just go up there and try to make contact any way you can, because a walk ends the inning because you're the 10th batter. So go out like that right there. There's a shot, and picked up by Ojala. 1 run in, 2 runs coming in, and the throw up the line, and I'll follow Kyle around the bases. Yeah, and he'll be able to clear the bases, as that's the 10th batter rule. And on a shot up the middle, Proctor going to come up in the bottom of the 6th, down a lot. Yeah, so this will be the final inning, as Kyle Casarino came in to pitch last inning, struck out the side. He's going to be looking at Braden Fox, then Sean Blanchard, then Curtis Tomlinson. And Casarino's first pitch of the 6th inning will be a strike. It was a swinging strike, but I think it would have been called a strike regardless. And again, he's had good location, good pop on the ball. Kanash pitched the first 4 innings, and again, he was overpowering out there for Rutland Town. As you know, you take last year and you look at Proctor in a much younger group they have right now. They lost a lot of veteran players last year. Rutland Town had a lot of young players last year, or veterans this year, and you can see what a difference. That's the cool part about watching this age group, is how they progress up through and how they grow as players. And Rutland Town looking like a pretty legitimate team right now, as Blanchard up for the 2nd time tonight. Squared the bunt, called a strike. Again, I don't know if he didn't bring his bat back, but I think it would have been a strike anyway. So Casarino's faced 4 Rangers, struck all 4 out. He's up in the count of 1-1 to Blanchard. And again, you've seen the movement of the ball. He started off low, then he brought the ball up inside, and keeping the hitters off balance now by changing locations on his pitches. I'd like to catch for him, guys. That's the kind of pitcher you look to catch for. Just got a piece of a Blanchard with a good job, with 2 strikes on him, to be defensive at the plate and make some contact. Into the windup, Casarino's pitch popped up, and that's playable, as Kanash will call for it, and I'm not sure who made the grab. I believe it was in the glove number 11. Okay, because I just lost the ball, so Clark will make the catch, as Blanchard will fly out to the 2nd baseman. Actually, that was 2nd baseman's ball all the way. Now Tomlinson up, and he has been the only base runner for Proctor, as he walked in the 4th. Actually, he got as far as 3rd base, and that's where he got stranded. Rutland Town pitchers will combine for 10 strikeouts tonight. Again, Casarino taking a little stroll around the mound. They'll settle down now on the rubber. And threw a BB, but low for a ball. Of course, if you follow the sport of basketball in the state of Vermont, you'll know Kyle Casarino's name from being the state champion free throw shooter for his age group in the state of Vermont. Plus, just his work in the Glozik tournament last 2 years he's played there, just unbelievably good to watch him play basketball. I don't mean this jokingly. I go and videotape the games, but I'd actually pay to go watch him play if I charged me. God, he's good to watch play basketball. He'll wind it up, though, in baseball here and just be off that outside corner. It was close, but it was a ball. So Tomlinson making him work here. Will get his 2nd walk of the ball game, this time out from Casarino. The last walk came against Kanash, and now Nick Ojala up there. Oh, I'll tell you what, it'd be the greatest rally in the history for Proctor to come back, as Tomlinson hustling down to 2nd, and Curtis, a competitor, he's going to go play hard from first pitch to last pitch, and he'll be down at 2nd base with 2 down now. And Ojala will get a strike called, 1 down the pipe. I tell you, it started off as a beautiful night, and now the sun's going down. It's turned into just a tremendously great night, nice and cool. That's going to be up the middle, and a base hit. And Tomlinson going to be sent home. Here comes the throw, and he's in a pickle. He's being ran down. He's going to stop, turn, and that's the ball game. So Proctor will garnish their first base hit in the 6th inning, and they'll get Tomlinson trying to score. But tell you saw a lot of good talent out there and good hustle by both sides. So a good effort by both teams, but it's a big night for Rutland Town. They'll have the 26-0 win over Proctor. Get out there and support community events like this in your area, and I always support Munger Vision.